Gucci, thank you for following. Yo. Right. It's on everybody's mind, and we can't deny it. Can't deny that this is on everyone's mind. I'm of course talking about the horrific events that happened yesterday. If you are not already aware, and you're watching this, Charlie Kirk is no longer with us. He was during one of his usual university debates that he's so known for. Real quick, if you don't know who Charlie is, he's a political commentator, political debater. However, he liked to be a little bit out of the box with it and keep it to civil discussions where he tried to do it peacefully. He wanted to do peaceful discourse, and some asshole decided to shoot him after prolonged accusations and, I would say, call to arms against him. There we go. I think I had the wrong setting on. Call to arms against them from a multitude of different people. I would say probably mainly it's probably been mainly other content creators as well as news networks to an extent. It is absolutely tragic that this has happened. And on top of the young Ukrainian lady who was stabbed not that many days ago either, on top of it. It's been truly a dark week in the world. I have watched a lot of combat footage from Ukraine. Never touched me. I watched the video of the lady getting stabbed. It didn't really touch me, other than making me angry. When I saw, my curiosity got me, the better of me. So I sought out a close-up view of the Charlie Kirk shooting, and I found it. Now I will not be showing this on stream, but I did find it. I did find the clip, and it's a cartoonish amount of blood coming out. It is severely graphic. If you seek out the link or seek out the video, viewer discretion is highly advised. If you're squeamish about blood, don't watch it. If you think you might be able, that you have an idea of what it looks like, you don't. It is extremely violent and very graphic. Viewer discretion on that video is highly advised. Do not show your children this. Do not show it to anyone just to show it to anyone. You can tell them about it, do not show it to them. Let them seek it out themselves with the same warning as I've just given. The shooter, the supposed shooter at least, is in custody. It is what seems to be a 60 to 70-year-old man. So far, the only source I've been able to find on what the weapon might have been is a theory from admin results. He made, I have to double check. I'm pretty sure it was a Pepperbox exclusive video on it. So if you want to see it, go subscribe to Pepperbox. I know they currently, if you have not had Pepperbox before, if you have never had Pepperbox, you should be able to have a 14-day trial. So you can go and watch it. There's a lot of other good content on Pepperbox. It's not just dead people. Admin result, I can see it here. It is exclusive video. It is exclusive to Pepperbox. So you do have to have Pepperbox to go and watch it. I'm not gonna react to it when it's on Pepperbox. It's behind a paywall. I do not want to let people watch it for free. I will link Pepperbox for everyone in the chat if they want it. So I will go ahead and do that now. I will send it out. There it is for Twitch. Here the link for Pepperbox is for Kick. And YouTube, you're getting it now. And there it is for YouTube. Again, the clip is not included in admin's video. It's not included in admin's video. It's not included in any of these videos. The clip is a clip that was very promptly banned from YouTube. If this is a attempt of censorship, or if it's just an attempt on your discretion, or it's again straight up against the TOS, or all of the above, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's against TOS to show straight up murder on the platform without blurring it. You can't really, this clip, you can't really blur it without you knowing as a viewer what happened. You're 100% sure what the fuck happened, and even though it gets pixelated or just blurred out, you still know what's going on. It does not make a difference. Now, admin mentioned that he first, when he saw the clip, he've seen multiple different angles from the same time period of the event. And he theorized that first he thought that it might have been a suppressed weapon, a suppressed rifle, which is not the case. When he then that was his initial thought. He then pondered on it a little bit. It's definitely a rifle of some sort. He does not mention anything about caliber as far as I remember. I watched it last night. I didn't watch it today. So I don't know what caliber it's been. I don't think there is any releases of information yet. I don't think there's any releases of information on what type of weapon was used yet. I am currently trying to see if I can find the police report to see if I can get some information. But that seems to not be the case. I don't think there is one. No. Meaning it's not been published yet. I will keep a lookout on it, and I will bring up the topic again later in the future, and we can look at it. Of what the report is going to say. I have no clue so far. It's of course horrific events. My heart and prayers goes out to the wife and his children. I believe, even though I've never met him, I've never talked to him, my view on Charlie was that he was a kind and sensible human being. Even though there's been some controversies about his way of doing things. The fact that he's been wanting to the way he's been trying to do things and having it as a civil discourse is what have me go to the conclusion of he tried to keep it peaceful. at all times. That's all I've been able to tell. He has never said anything about wanting to perform violence. He have never said anything about wanting others perform violence. Um, so yeah, it seemed appropriate to address it before anyone would ask about it and my view on it in the chat. So there you have it. Now you have it. It's out there now. I think it's terrible. It's a terrible loss of life because he did have peaceful intentions with what he did. He was a big figurehead in that community. I don't necessarily agree with everything he said and done. However, it's still a terrible loss of life because he did do a lot of good with what he did. He did inspire a lot of people to speak up their mind, and he said he unfortunately and regrettably got shot for his views of speaking out and using their First Amendment rights of free speech. I also watched, and we will watch together, President Trump address the issue as well, or not address the issue, but he made a response to this event, to this occurrence. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna find it again real quick. Um, Trump address. Sorry. Uh, is this the clip? This. So that's not it. Where is it? There it is. Here it is. This is President Donald Trump, addressing the unfortunate death of Charlie Kirk. I will pause the music.
Americans, I am filled with grief. My great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever. to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who.
He just said something very, very important. He said he would rally his administration not just to avenge Charlie and put the people who essentially indirectly put out a hit on Charlie and did a call to arms on him. He will also make sure that any other parties, not political parties, but other entities that are actively going after law enforcement and judges and their judicial system to get them what they deserve as well, which is a very important statement. Whether or not he's going to succeed within his term is up for debate. We don't know. I will show multiple things. I'll also show a clip from, not a clip, a straight up video from Asmongold as well. Because he also spoke his mind. Tectone did as well. Tectone's is a little bit more deep and serious and longer. That's why I'm choosing Asmongold's. It's not as long. We can do a little bit more react to it. This is a serious issue that I want out of the way. And I'm not planning for it to take an hour. Let's continue.
Brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk.
We have to pause. I have to go back a little bit.
As well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died. The values of Kirk lived and American values. All Americans to commit themselves to the American values. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit them and taken too many lives. Violence has hurt and 3 others. Radical left political violence has.
There it is. Radical and political violence has hurt too many people. Yeah, that's true. It has to hurt too many people. And it's hurt way too many people already.
Hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah.
There we have it. That was the president's speech. Now, I do not have these lined up because I don't usually do this kind of content. I just feel like it is important to do.
Hey guys, it's me again, and it's been a little while. Just before I get into the main topic of the video, I want to explain why there haven't been any videos. My dad has been in the hospital for the Better Attention Family Foundation, and because of that, I haven't been possible. That being said, and I wanted to make a video of Charlie Kirk about the obvious and inevitable nature of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This happened a few hours ago.
So essentially, we didn't really catch completely what he said because I was skipping. What he says is that he's gonna go over the very natural occurrence of this happening, and we have to hear him out because there is a point. He's filming this on his phone, I assume. Given the quality, he's not on his PC. Actually, I'm pretty sure. No, that's not his background. Just stuff.
And it was probably one of the most gruesome and graphic, and this is coming from somebody who grew up on LiveLeak, videos I've ever seen. The first time I saw a video, I thought it was AI generated. The guy gets shot in the neck, and blood is spurting out. I didn't even know it could do that. And it was absolutely fucking horrifying to see something like that happen in front of a massive audience of people. Now, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, Charlie Kirk has been a pretty noteworthy, controversial guy. He's a conservative. He goes to a lot of college campuses, does live debates. This is a pretty popular format nowadays, and Charlie Kirk has been popularizing it and utilizing it now for many years, and he's even featured in South Park recently because of it. Charlie Kirk definitely is not a super radical right-wing person, but I would say that he's more of the moderate to, kind of extreme right-wing. Very, very, I would say, lukewarm, though, in my opinion, at least especially, and this is where we're going, especially compared to now. And what I think is going to happen now, because obviously these shootings like this don't really happen inside of a vacuum, and they never do, they never have. And I think that the situation that we have right now is that there is a tremendous amount of political violence that is advocated for, promoted, and allowed to exist on social media that has turned up the temperature in all political conversations, all social conversations, and all discourse on the internet in general to a point where it's almost unrecoverable. You have people that are out there all the time advocating for violence, advocating for people to get killed. Somebody needs to take care of this guy. Somebody needs to deal with this. I wish he were dead. Won't somebody do it?
As Empire have done this not that long time ago against Eli Klein as well. And both Ethan and Eli has been living inside their house, not leaving it, in the fear of getting fucking shot. They're currently both waiting for the concealed carry licenses, which can take up to a year because they live in California.
The 8647 all of the crypto messaging and all the doxing, right? Why do you dox somebody? Why do you post a person's home address? It's to make other people that are insane, like the person who killed Charlie Kirk, it's to give them the ammunition they need to kill that person and to put that person's life in danger. That's why they're doing it. And so that's the reason why they want to find out the identities of ICE agents. That's the reason why they want to find out the identities of Tesla owners, like at the beginning of the year. It's so they can destroy their car and destroy their lives. And this isn't necessarily a one-sided thing. I think that in the last 5 years or so, especially since BLM, it's been a like 90% left-wing thing. But that doesn't mean that the 10% right-wing people are right either. But I do think that now you're going to see a lot more right-wing people balancing out those scales. The fact is that you can take a knife to a gunfight all you want, and you can think that you're honorable, but you're going to end up being dead. And I think that's what right-wing people have done for a very long time. They've tried to speak above the political violence. They've tried to advocate above it and not try to stoop down to that level. But the issue is that a lot of these social media companies have expressed literally zero desire to even do the bare minimum of moderation. I think that two of the worst actors are Twitter or X and Reddit. Both of these platforms are full of a bunch of extremist nut jobs that not only should have their accounts banned, but they should probably be put in mental institutions. And I think that now I find it to be kind of interesting taking a step back for a week or so and seeing how many people are coming around to the inevitable reality that this is the only path forward. There are so many people in society now that are just completely unhinged, under-medicated, and really just completely insane that you can't have a person like that running wild out in society. They cause problems for themselves, not to mention everybody else around them. And I think that the society, we need to have an honest conversation about how to deal with these people in a way that, and I'll be real, I don't really care about the people that are crazy. Their well-being and the way that, things are for them. Of course, obviously, I wouldn't want it to be bad, but it's certainly not important. What's really important is all the people who aren't crazy, making sure that people that are not crazy, that are good actors, that are law-abiding citizens, are able to live a life of peace, a life of prosperity, and a life without fear of going on the subway, for example, as at the recent event as well. And I think that every single person in the world deserves to live in a place like that. And I don't want to see, America turn into a PvP server. And it sure seems like it is. And I think that in order to prevent that from happening, we need to have honest conversations about what do you do with people that, get arrested 14 times? And it's not even a question, right? You put them in jail and you throw away the key and you compel them to work, and that way you can make the money back from imprisoning them forever. That's the way that you solve that problem. It's very simple, actually. But for some reason, the way that makes people feel has made them unwilling to look at this obvious truth. If you look in history, this is what we've always done in history, and it's because it works. And the problem is that now we have so much of the discourse that's dominated by emotional thinking, that's dominated by the most unstable, the most virtue signal, the most, ridiculous performative empathy possible, and that's defining a huge political voice in the country. This has become a tremendous detriment to everyone. And I think that with people like the shooter that probably shot Charlie Kirk, with that guy in the subway that stabbed that Ukrainian woman, or with that trans shooter that shot up the school, one thing that's common among all of them is that these people, in almost all cases, were verifiably nuts beforehand, and nothing ever was done about it. And until we can stomach the idea of solving problems like that before they happen, we're going to keep having problems. And I think that with Charlie Kirk, it's very obvious that the amount of, political violence and advocating for political violence that's happening on the internet has turned up the temperature and created an environment and a culture where this type of behavior is normal. And not only is it normal, but it's actually encouraged. And the problem is that now people are acting on it. And you're starting to see this happen, and I think it's going to continue getting worse. I don't think Charlie Kirk is going to be the last one, but I think that we will look at Charlie Kirk's death and see it as a turning point in this topic. And what I'm really trying to get at here with this entire point is that right now we are at a extremely pivotal moment. And I think that what's going to end up happening is that right-wing people are not going to continue to turn the other cheek. They're not going to continue to just, oh, well, this is just a crazy left-wing radical. I think you're probably going to see right-wing people doing the same thing to left-wing people. And honestly, while I don't think this is a good thing, I certainly don't really feel that sorry for them. Because a lot of left-wing people have no problem advocating for violence, or at least using coded language in order to advocate for violence. The fact is that there's a certain level of intellect.
Let's go back to Trump for a second. He did say, and basically made a promise to the people that they will find whoever is responsible for this happening and make sure that it goes deeper than just the shooter. That it goes back to the ones who advocated for this to happen.
Intellectual dishonesty that goes on in situations like this, where it's considered, oh, well, this isn't actually what they meant, and no, this is actually some others. No, it is. It's exactly what they mean. They're trying to advocate for killing people that they disagree with. That's what's happening, and there's no talking around it. And to the extent that you try to, you're insulting the intelligence of anyone that you're speaking to. And I think that now you're going to start seeing a lot of right-wing people end up doing this to left-wing people now even more, because it's very clear that these social media platforms are not going to moderate this behavior. The FBI, for whatever reason, just refuses to deal with or have any degree of accountability for dealing with these obvious terrorists that are in the country. And because of that, I think you're going to start seeing an uptick of violence from right-wing people as well. And this is going to be, in my opinion, I don't really think the word is justified, because it's not justified, but the word is expected. I think it's going to be expected. The fact is that, again, you bring a knife to a gunfight, you're going to lose. And don't be surprised when you keep bringing guns to gunfights and then somebody else decides to start shooting back. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think this is a degradation of society as a whole. And ultimately, the real burden of responsibility here doesn't really fall on influencers, and I don't think that it falls even on the commenters themselves. I think it falls primarily on the government. The fact is that the government, there are already laws that permit, explicit calls to violence. There's already laws that permit the types of stalking and doxing that people engage in online. And one of the big things that is a misconception is that people like me want new laws. We want any form of extra censorship at all. I certainly don't want that, and I don't know anybody else that does either. But what we do want is we want the existing laws to be applied and to be enforced in an accurate and a fair way, which is clearly not what's happening. And really, the government not doing that and giving this asymmetrical, in my opinion, advantage to left-wing people to fully and with complete freedom practice genuine terrorism on a daily basis, and then congratulate each other about how moral and how good they are for doing it because something bad that happened in Palestine, or something bad that Donald Trump did 3 years ago. This is just simply a response. This is what's going to happen. And so, and I think that that's probably what it's going to take for these left-wing people to realize what a bad idea what they've been doing is. Because until it starts happening to them, until they start having people that are their friends, or their like icons that they look up to, the same way people looked up to Charlie Kirk, until they start seeing those people get killed, I don't think it's really going to be real for them. And unfortunately, I think that's the path that we're headed down because of the government and social media companies and every other seemingly governmental apparatus that has just completely hand-waved this problem and ignored it entirely. So the death of Charlie Kirk and the assassination of him should not come as a surprise to anyone. This should be something that everybody could have expected. all you had to do was read Twitter for an hour and you could have told me this would have happened, of course. Same with Reddit. And until that core problem is addressed, you will continue to see a rapid decline in any type of social discourse. And I'm actually kind of afraid to see what's going to happen next, because I think it's just going to continue getting worse, and I don't see the reason for it to stop. And so anyway, I wanted to make this video because it's obviously a topic that, I've been talking about this a lot for the past few years now, and I was laughed at a lot, and people were telling me it wasn't that big of a deal, and they were joking. Well, I saw the video. That wasn't a joke. And the reality is that those jokes and everything create a culture and an environment where the actual actions are more permissible. And you also have people that are the ones telling the quote jokes that are talking around just, directly, saying that this is a bad thing and it shouldn't be tolerated for any reason. You have, I don't want to go through a bunch of different names, but anybody, this is the way I look at it. I'm just going to make a categorical judgment here. Is that any content creator or anybody like this who has been advocating for violence against a person in an extrajudicial way. I'm not talking about trying people who they disagree with for treason. This is advocating for the judicial process to be used against people they disagree with. I think that's fine. But whenever you have people that are saying things like 8647, or anybody who's advocating for any form of extrajudicial justice, extrajudicial justice, and basically vigilante justice on people who they disagree with politically, you have to realize that all of those people, I think, have made themselves acceptable targets. And I think that there's a lot and millions of people out there nowadays that see that. And I think that that should be extremely worrying for them. It should be terrifying. But the reality is that they have created that environment themselves through their own actions, through their behavior, and through their own words. You reap what you sow. And I think that things are about to get a whole lot worse. So anyway, guys, I wanted to make this video and talk about it. And that's about all I've got to say. So I hope to be back soon. I'll record videos when I can, here and there. But for the most part, as I said before...
There we have it. There was his statement on the matter. Right button. Go. So... yes. He's right. I'm pretty sure you could have found a ton of evidence that would, if you had looked into it, could have prevented this event happening. With just 10 minutes of research, really. I have not tried myself. I have to put that disclaimer out there. I did not myself try and see if I could find a bunch of call storms. However, I just felt like this was a topic that needed coverage. Also from an outside perspective, since I'm not American. I am Danish. We have a lot of different values in our political spectrum. A lot of the same values, but a lot of different values as well. In case you're not aware, Denmark is running what is called a social democracy. It may just a lot of people sound like communism. It's not really communism. It is it's social. It's a social democratic system, meaning that policies and political actions are put in place for the people and for the benefit of the people in all regards. We have a very high very high sense of, that's not the right word, hold on, as I said, I'm Danish. English is not my first language. I have to think about what I'm saying here, otherwise it might be taken the wrong way. Our welfare system is a completely different system than what you might see in other countries like the US. It is called the Scandinavian model. All the Scandinavian countries run this. If you are unemployed, you can go to your municipality. You can say, hey, I'm unemployed, I'm unable to find work. Please, please do. Can I please have a talk with someone who can then help me try and see if they can find something? The municipality then sends you to what's called the job center. The job center then helps you figure out what your plan is going to be, and then help you as best they can, for the most part. Help you as best they can to get into a environment of working and contributing to society that works for you as an individual. I am on that kind of benefit. Reason why I can sit here and stream for all of you guys. And I am being paid to be in this program, this benefits program. I am currently being paid by the government, or my municipality more specifically, who are paid by the government. And I have a right to a certain amount each month. This amount is fixed. This amount can vary depending on different factors. I am a father, so I get a little bit more than another random 26-year-old would. If I am in some sort of activation thing, I also get extra money for that. I am registered to be that. I am currently in a activation program. However, I have some issues that makes me unable to be in a location where I will be doing daily chores. It is a health complication and a mental complication at the same time. I'm not going further into that. But yeah, something like this is super unlikely to happen here. Not saying it's impossible. Not saying it won't happen. Because that was what a lot of people said after 9/11 attacks in 2001. Oh, that would never happen here. We're too safe. That is not the case. We have, in the last decade, had 4 or 5 terrorist attacks that were semi-successful in the sense that they did take people's lives. They did cost a great deal in the eye of the public. It woke up the population and said, hey, we're not too safe. We can never be too safe. I am very, very sorry for the very serious start opening to this stream. I just felt like this whole Charlie Kirk situation had to be addressed. I have now addressed it. I will now change topic and go to something else. So, to change the topic, I don't know what the fuck we have to do. What can we do today? I'm gonna be waiting 2 hours to be able to play that. What can we be doing today? Let's see. I could, but then you have to bear with me for a moment because then I have to reconnect my HOTAS and shit. But I could do some TCS. I haven't done that in a while. Ron. Ready or not? I could do ready or not. I don't know. Let's see. Let's start your music again. Well. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. I mean, I probably should be active on circuit, otherwise I'll just get kicked out, I guess. Let's see. What can we do? Yeah, I will. Yeah, give me a moment. I will set up for a DCS. I feel like that is something I want to do today. Alright, ladies and gents, I'm back. Let's do Hoggy Georgia Door. So it seems like we don't have anyone on the outdoor side or the Red Coalition. Can I even join Red Coalition? Doesn't make sense too. What aircraft shall we fly today? We can fly that. We can fly that. They're all patrons. We can fly these two as well. We have those as well. Green. That aircraft. This aircraft. Yeah, this aircraft. I also do have Zagagraph. So let's fly the S. Here. I might have to do some keybinds here. I have to do some keybinds, so. Let's see. I'm not in the C variant, I'm in the S variant. Am I in the C variant? Oh, I picked the S variant, didn't I? Yeah. Make 29S. And why is that not? Alright, I can choose something. That's the power switch on the G. Nothing has happened, so this is not a G variant. Let's try and do the same thing. This variant. Electrical power. Wait, hold on, did I press the wrong button? No, I didn't. This is it. Good illumination. That is to be engine startup. Need the left engine stop. Right engine start. It's nice being able to do it with both of them. That way, if something goes wrong. those instead. Okay. So, she'll wake up. Yes, she does.
107, Overlord 11, Bra 060 for 130 at 25,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 120 for 70 at 7,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 082 for 1
Sukiya. So choppy, isn't it? Lord Gaming, thank you for following. Get some curb. And same goes to this one. So. Sure. Then same. This one is 5. Okay. All right. Right. That's the guy.
25,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 056, Fort 110 at 25,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 081, Fort 60 at 19,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 086, Fort 110 at 10,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 070, Fort 29 at 30,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 107, Fort 45 at 26,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 130, Fort 140 at 29,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 072, Fort 19 at 29,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 128, Fort 25.
Hey, I got it.
3,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 130, Fort 140 at 29,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 083, Fort 100 at 19,000 knots.
I think I'll set it off just dogfighting. Let's try this setup. Let's try these guys. Actually, let's go without the fuel pump.
Перезарядка по плану. Прием.
Bra 097, 450 at 11,000 cold. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 131, Fort 100.
That's the guy.
At 7,000 knots.
That's the guy at 50.
107,
Why is my
Overlord 11, Bra 061, Fort
stuff
100
jittering so much?
at 25,000 cold.
What's insane?
Командир, оружие подрезано.
Overlord 11, Bra 0.
Man, it's jittering so much.
At 22,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, pop-up group 255, 413 at 500 cold. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 096, Fort 110 at 11,000 cold. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 096,
Yes,
Fort 110
I am.
at 11,000 cold.
That feels like it's gonna slow down the missile though.
107, Overlord 11, Bra 098, Fort 20 at 35,000 knots.
I have to double check real quick before I take off.
Overlord 11, Bra 060.
Double check my radar stuff.
25,000 knots.
Turn my radar on and off an eye.
107, Overlord 11, Bra 074, 414 at 35,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 073, 4100 at 19,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 084, 480 at 22,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 061, 4130 at 25,000 cold. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 082, 480 at 22,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 129, 4100 at 7,000 knots.
Got at 16, go! Go get him at 16!
107, Overlord 11, Bra 060, 4130 at 25,000 knots.
16.
107, Overlord 11, Bra 128, 4100 at 7,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 071, 490 at 19,000 knots.
Высоко. Заезжаю в линии на полосу 2-2.
107, Overlord 11, Bra 078, 470 at 22,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 061, 4130 at 25,000 cold. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 127, 4100 at 7,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 075, 470 at 22,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra
These fellas are
102,
confusing.
4110 at 17,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 071, 460 at 22,000 knots.
Guess I'm gonna turn cold.
107, Overlord 11, Bra 126, 490 at 7,000 knots. 107, Overlord 11, Bra 061, 4130 at 25,000 cold. 107, Wizard 11, Bra 070, 120 at 6007. Overlord 11. Bra 053 for 110 at 25,000 hot. 107. Wizard 11. Bra 137 for 50 Overlord 14,000 hot. 061 for 45 at 27,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 133 for 130 at 35,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 136 for 130 at 35,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 103 for 60 at 30,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 056 for 110 at 25,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 01043 at 15,000. 054 for 110 at 25,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 008 for 100 at 13,000 hot. 30,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 102 for 45 at 30,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 125 for 50 at 16,000 hot. 50 at 14,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 137 for 110 at 35,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 040 for 22 at 9,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 083 for 90 at 8,000 hot.
Oh shit.
107. Overlord 11. Bra 048 for 100 at 25,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 106 for 25 at 35,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 136 for 35 at 25,000 hot. 107. Overlord 11. Bra 144 for 110 at 30,000. 107. Wizard 11. Bra 141 for 90 at 30,000. Overlord 11. Wizard Bra 148 for 21 at 7,000. Coal.
Shit. I think I'll do another server because I want to be able to play the flanker instead. I like the flanker better. $1974. I like the Cold War. want to do some PvP though. Strike Eagles Korean War. This one. This training server. Let's try it. Pretty thighs. Oh wow. I can't even play on the server. That was a waste of time. Yeah. But is this PvP? Or is it purely PvE? This is very annoying. There isn't really any PvP servers. Yeah, I mean, there's a dogfight only server. Dogfight arena. That's not what I'm into though. So let's try this one. Something tells me it's gonna be the same thing. Oh god damn it. Yeah, and this is dynamic PvE. I want PvP. Sure, let's try it. Some flying is better than no flying, I guess. I'm so sorry about the background noise. It is super windy outside, but I have to have my window open, otherwise I'll die. It's just super fucking warm. My game. No. Are we locking? And we have some cheeky breaky Russian aggro. Let's go good Delta. I thought he used to do it.
Request rearming. Copy. Bra 008 for 120 at 18,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 11. Bra 025 for 130 at 28,000 knots.
Out, left, right. So tower, Delta.
Full order. Pontiac 1. Request startup.
Okay, how was I done that?
Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 152, 450 at 0 knots. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 154, 450 at 0 knots. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, pop-up group, 157, 445 at 500 knots. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 156, 445 at 500 knots. X-Men 1, Uzi 8,
Pontiac
request
1,
bogey dope.
focus,
1-1, bra, 002, 480 at 3,000 knots.
Is your phone? Which friendlies?
Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 355, 440 at 18,000 knots.
So if I remember correctly, circles is friendlies, triangles are hostile.
Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, pop-up group, 153, 440 at 1,000 knots.
Yeah. Okay. I see him right there at the edge of my in the edge of my radar there. You can see the guy that's like a V at the end of the stick. That's a hostile.
Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 155,
Looks like friendly soldiers with Kuro. Shut off our radar and rely on a data link. So no, we can keep it on for now. Let's split those away. What is that?
X-Men 1, Springfield 1, declaring at 1, focus 1-1, Springfield 160-450 at 9,000 knots.
That thing is fast. It is a friendly though. So I guess we're safe.
Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra 256-4220 at 35,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra 157-445 at 15,000 gold. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra 256-4220 at 35,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, pop-up group 160-460 at 4,000 gold. Pontiac 1-1, Bra 253-4200 at 35,000 Pontiac 1, focus 11, bra 290, 1090,
Request navigation system.
4000 knots. Pontiac 1, bra 169, 190 at 35,000 knots.
Oh, is it bandit in here? Oh, it's in fun.
Pontiac 1, bra focus 12, 442, 45,000 at 35,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 11, bra Pontiac 1-1, Bra. Pontiac 1-1, focus 1-1, Bra. 35,045 at 35,000 knots.
Where the fuck did he come from?
Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки.
Pontiac 1-1, Bra. 141 for 120 at 35,000 knots. Udata, Uzi, E. Request navigation assistance. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra. 150 for 150 at 8,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra. 312 for 180 at 23,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra. 312 for 180 at 14,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus 1-1, Bra. 321 for 120 at Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 316, 490 at 9,000 knots. Pontiac 1-1, bra, 143, 150 at 23,000 cold.
That's a turn around. So I don't have enough fuel.
Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки.
Ah! How was it 4,000 kilograms?
Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 108, 490 at 10,000 knots.
Wait, where's the 16?
Pontiac 1-1, bra, 142, 130 at 23,000 knots.
I think that's the 16.
140 for 110 at 23,000 knots. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, pop-up group, 301 for 160 at 2,500, cold. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 302 for 160 at 8,000, cold. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 140 for 90 at 23,000 knots.
There it is.
Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, pop-up group, 307 for 100 at 1,000, cold. Sushi, Pontiac 1, inbound. 1-1, bra, 301 for 170 at 4,500, cold. Pontiac 1, focus, 1-1, bra, 308 for 100 at 1,000, cold.
Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Прикатапультируйся. Откат гидросистемы.
Did the F-16 literally just shoot me?
Откат гидросистемы. Катапультируйся. Откат гидросистемы. Катапультируйся. Откат гидросистемы. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Катапультируйся. Скорость предельная. Отказ гидросистемы.
I think I'll end the stream here. Because that's a weird ass fucking thing to happen. I'll let you guys. Thank you so much for watching today's stream, if you're still watching. As always, if you want to play some 5M, since I have a 5M server that is 18+, there is a link down in the description on all my platforms for any of the things I'm about to talk about. 5M, link down in the description, Valhalla Vibe RP. For some merch, go to Modern Viking. To watch other streamers like myself, go to Nicest Round Table. And you can go to Carl's ScanDiv Discord if you want to be part of a Scandinavian-based airsoft team. Of course, this is something you should I can only recommend doing if you live in Scandinavia, either Denmark, Norway, or Sweden. That's really all I got for you guys today. So, thank you so much for watching. If you want to help me out, it will help a lot if you would give me a follow on either Kick or Twitch. You can give me a subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe on Kick if you want to help me out. It's $5 a month, or $4.99 a month. You can also leave a tip. There's a tip link on all my platforms. So if you feel generous and you want to give me a tip because you think I did a good job, feel free to do so. That would help me out a lot. And that's all I got. Thank you for watching. See you guys probably on Monday, unless something else